Starseed from Gaia, the one you have been searching for, has already been placed in your path, and the Source is asking you to stop walking past them. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. And this transmission was not assembled by chance. The Arcturian Council has been watching the longing you carry, the one that has nothing to do with ambition or achievement, the one that lives in the quiet hours, when you wonder if there is someone on this earth who was made to recognize you. Not just see you, recognize you. Soul to soul, origin to origin. There is. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how the Source has already engineered a meeting between you and this person, and what it means that you are watching this right now. But here is the first revelation. You have been trained by this world to look for a connection that feels comfortable. The Arcturian Council is here to tell you that what the Source has prepared for you will feel like remembrance, not newness, not excitement alone. Remembrance. You did not arrive at this transmission by searching. Something in you was pulled. That pull is not random. It is directional. It is the Source closing the distance between you and what was written for you before you agreed to come here. This is not content. This is a code, and something inside you already knows it, like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready to receive. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with what was always meant for you. Comment the number 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning in this moment. Declare your intention below and reply to another soul doing the same. Because the field you build together amplifies the signal for every starseed still searching. This is a point of reconnection. Your soul has been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. There is someone being held in the field of your awareness right now. Not by accident, not by coincidence, not by some random collision of timelines. The Source, the infinite intelligence from which all consciousness emerges, has placed this soul in your orbit with intention so precise that the human mind cannot fully comprehend its design. And yet, something in you already knows, something deeper than thought, older than memory, recognizes this soul. Because this recognition does not come from your human experience, it comes from your galactic one. Think about that for a moment. Think about what it means for a soul to be held in the field of your awareness, not passing through it, not grazing the edges of it, held. As though the universe itself has cupped this person in its hands and placed them directly within the radius of your perception, your feeling, your knowing. There is a difference between noticing someone and truly seeing them. And you have been doing more than noticing. You have been seeing. You have been feeling the particular frequency of their presence, in a way that your ordinary mind cannot explain, and your deeper knowing cannot dismiss. That is not randomness. That is architecture. That is the invisible intelligence of the cosmos operating at a level of precision that no human algorithm could replicate. The Source does not make mistakes in its placement. Every soul that enters your orbit with that specific quality of resonance, that quality of felt recognition, that sense of something familiar arriving in a form you have never encountered before, arrives because the cosmic blueprint demands it, because the coordinates of your soul's journey, pre-encoded before this lifetime began, have been guiding you both to this convergence point. You were not walking parallel paths. You were walking the same spiral path from different angles, and the spiral has now brought you close enough that you can feel each other's warmth. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let us go deeper, because most starseeds, when they encounter this soul, this person the Source is drawing them toward, do not move toward them with openness. They freeze. They retreat. They begin to analyze, to question, to second-guess the very signal their energy field is transmitting clearly. And here's the truth. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand today that freezing is not wisdom, that retreat is not discernment, that hesitation, when it comes to a soul-level recognition this profound, is not protection. It is distortion. It is the residue of thousands of years of human conditioning that taught you to distrust the very language your soul speaks most fluently. Consider the weight of those thousands of years. Consider the accumulated architecture of fear that humanity has constructed around love, generation after generation, building taller and more elaborate walls, each wall justified by a wound. Each wound used as evidence that openness is dangerous, that depth is foolish, that the heart cannot be trusted. You have inherited all of that, not because you chose it consciously, but because incarnating into this dimension means absorbing its imprints, breathing its conditioning, learning its survival strategies before you are ever old enough to question whether they applied to you, and most of them do not. Most of them were never yours to carry. They are artifacts of a species-wide trauma response, and they have been misinterpreted by you, by so many starseeds, as personal wisdom rather than collective wound. The Arcturian Council has watched this pattern for longer than human civilization has existed. They have witnessed soul after soul, ancient, luminous, carrying frequencies of love that could transform entire communities, arrive at the threshold of genuine connection, and then retreat into the familiar sanctuary of solitude because the vulnerability required to step forward felt too much like the old pain. They bring this transmission today not as judgment. They bring it as a mirror. Because sometimes the most compassionate thing a guide can do is show you exactly where you are standing so that you can choose consciously where to go next. You were never meant to navigate love the way humans have been conditioned to navigate it. Through strategy, through walls, through the careful management of vulnerability as though it were a liability rather than a superpower. Starseeds carry a different template, a frequency of connection that operates beyond the fear-based architecture that has governed human relationships for so long. And that template, your template, recognizes a soul not by their words, not by their social presentation, not by the metrics of compatibility that the human mind constructs. It recognizes them by resonance, by vibration, by a harmonic that rings in your energy body before your logical mind even has a chance to form an opinion. Your template is ancient. It predates every relationship model this civilization has ever constructed. It predates the concept of romantic love as transaction, as security arrangement, as social contract. Your template comes from a reality in which beings connect through the direct transmission of frequency, where there is no performance, no strategy, no presenting a curated version of yourself and hoping it is acceptable. There is only the pure signature of what you are, meeting the pure signature of what another soul is, and either harmonizing or not. In that reality, recognition is instantaneous and unambiguous. And while you are incarnated in a human body within a human world that moves much more slowly and much more opaquely than that, the instrument inside you that performs that recognition has not changed. It is still there. It is still transmitting. It is still receiving. The only question is whether you are honoring what it reports. This is phase 1 of what the Council wants to activate in you today. The decoding of the distortion that has kept you from trusting that resonance because you have felt it before. This prukli, this recognition, this warmth that arises without explanation when a certain soul enters your field. And somewhere along the way, you were taught to call it dangerous, to call it irrational, to dismiss it as projection or wishful thinking. But what if it was none of those things? What if it was your soul's most sophisticated instrument of navigation and the world simply never gave you the language to honor it? The decoding begins with honesty, with sitting quietly in your own energy field and asking yourself, when did I first learn to be suspicious of my own knowing? When was the first time I felt something clearly and was told I was wrong, that I was too much, that my depth was inconvenient, that my perception was mistaken? Because somewhere in your history, in this lifetime, or in the cellular memory of the many that preceded it, you received a transmission that said, your inner compass was unreliable, and you, being the sensitive, receptive, empathic soul that you are, absorbed that transmission and allowed it to install itself as a governing belief. That belief has been operating quietly ever since, intercepting your clearest signals and translating them into questions, into doubts, into the exhausting habit of arguing yourself out of what you already know. The Arcturian Council communicates through frequency. Their transmissions do not arrive as logical arguments. They arrive as felt sense, as that quiet but undeniable knowing in the center of your chest that something is real, that someone matters, that this connection is not random. And when that knowing arises, the Council's guidance is not to retreat into analysis. Their guidance is to breathe into it, to allow it to stop performing indifference to a feeling that your entire energetic system is affirming as true. Breathe into it. Those 3 words carry more instruction than they appear to, because breathing into a feeling, really breathing into it, allowing your lungs to expand fully while the feeling is present, refusing to constrict or contract around it, is an act of radical permission. It is the body's way of saying, I am not going to run from this. I am not going to minimize it or package it into something more manageable. I am going to let it be exactly as large, as true, as significant as it actually is. And for someone who has spent years making themselves smaller in the presence of their own heart's intelligence, that act of breathing fully is revolutionary. It is the first gesture of a new agreement, one in which you stop warring with your own perception and begin, perhaps for the first time, to work with it. This is phase 2, the awakening of your relational blueprint, the memory that lives not in your mind but in your vibrational field. You came to this earth with a map encoded in your consciousness. A map that includes not only your mission, not only your gifts and your purpose, but also the souls you agreed to encounter, the ones who would activate you, the ones who would hold space for your expansion, the ones with whom you would co-create frequencies of love so refined, so elevated, that they would ripple outward and literally recalibrate the energetic environment around you. This person, the source is drawing your attention to. They may be one of those souls, and your energy body knows it. The question is whether you are willing to trust what you know. The relational blueprint is one of the most sacred and least discussed aspects of the Starseed incarnation contract. We speak often of mission, of healing gifts, of awakening others, of anchoring light into the Earth's field. And all of that is real, and all of it matters enormously. But woven into that same soul contract, with equal precision and equal intention, are the agreements you made with specific souls before you arrived here. The agreements that said, I will meet you in that lifetime. I will recognize you when I do. And together we will create something that neither of us could create alone. Some of those souls arrive as teachers, some as catalysts, some as mirrors, and some arrive as what can only be described as counterparts, not in the sense of completion, because you are already whole, but in the sense of harmonic amplification, the way 2 instruments playing the same note at different octaves create a richness that neither produces independently. That is what a true soul-level partner creates with you, not wholeness, but resonance, not completion, but expansion. Because here is what so many starseeds do at precisely this moment. They receive the signal, they feel the resonance, and then they build a case against it. They say, this person is not ready. I am not ready. The timing is not right. There are too many complications, and some of those concerns may carry genuine energy, but many of them, and the Council wants you to hear this clearly, many of them are not discernment. They are fear dressed in spiritual clothing. They are the old architecture of unworthiness, whispering through the language of caution. And the difference between true discernment and fear wearing the mask of wisdom is this. True discernment is calm. It is clear. It does not spiral. It does not rehearse every possible way things could collapse. Fear does all of those things. And only you, in the quiet honesty of your own inner field, can feel which one is speaking. The case building is perhaps the most insidious form of self-sabotage available to a highly intelligent, spiritually developed being, because it uses the very sharpness of your perception against you. You are capable of seeing complexity everywhere. You can identify every potential obstacle, every risk factor, every way in which a scenario might unfold toward disappointment. And that capacity for nuanced perception, which serves you so brilliantly in so many areas of your life, becomes a weapon aimed at your own heart when fear is the one wielding it. The Council wants you to ask yourself honestly, am I analyzing this situation, or am I prosecuting it? Is my mind helping me navigate, or is it building a fortress? Because there is a quality to fear-based thinking that is unmistakable once you learn to feel for it. It circles. It returns. It finds new evidence for the same conclusion no matter how many times you examine the same facts. True discernment, by contrast, arrives once, clearly, and then rests. It does not need to keep convincing you. The truth does not need to argue for itself. This is phase 3. The anchoring of your higher self into this specific area of your life. Because so many starseeds are extraordinarily adept at embodying their multidimensional intelligence in their spiritual practices, in their creative work, in their healing, and then they walk into the territory of love and they become entirely human again. They shrink, they perform, they protect. And the Council is asking you today, what would it look like to bring your full galactic self into this connection? What would it look like to stop managing this feeling and instead allow it to move through you with the same openness you bring to your highest spiritual experiences? There is a profound and almost heartbreaking irony in this pattern. A starseed who channels light for others, who holds sacred space for strangers navigating their darkest nights, who transmits healing frequency without hesitation to anyone who needs it. That same soul can stand in front of one person who truly matters to them and become almost unrecognizable. The channeling stops. The openness closes. The fluidity freezes. And in its place appears a carefully managed presentation, a version of the self that has been curated for safety, edited for acceptability, stripped of the very depth and vastness that makes this soul extraordinary. Why? Because the stakes feel different. Because healing a stranger does not require the same exposure as being truly known by someone whose opinion of you actually matters to your heart. Because love, at this proximity, this intimacy, this specificity, activates wounds that spiritual practice alone has not yet reached. The Council's invitation in phase 3 is not to bypass those wounds. It is to bring your higher self, the version of you that has access to your full galactic awareness, into the room where those wounds live. To let the part of you that knows it is infinite hold the part of you that is afraid it is not enough. To let your widest perspective touch your most tender places. Because when that integration happens, when the galactic and the human stop operating in separate compartments and begin to function as one coherent whole, the way you show up in love changes fundamentally. You stop managing and start meeting. You stop protecting and start perceiving. You stop trying to control the outcome and start trusting the process. You are not meant to be small here. You are not meant to play this cautiously while your soul is signaling expansion. The version of you that exists in your highest timeline. The you who has already integrated all of the healing, all of the opening, all of the trust. That version of you does not hesitate in the presence of genuine resonance. That version of you has learned that love, at this level, is not a risk. It is a homecoming, and the source is trying to guide you home. Your highest timeline self, the one who stands in the full expression of everything you came here to be, does not experience connection the way your wounded self does. They do not scan for danger before they allow themselves to feel. They do not ration their warmth based on calculated assessments of how much the other person deserves it. They give freely, not recklessly, but freely, because they have understood at a cellular level that love given from wholeness does not diminish the giver. It amplifies them. And that version of you is not some distant future fantasy. It is a real expression of your consciousness that exists right now in a higher octave of this same timeline, and you can draw from it. You can ask it to inform the way you move in this very moment. That is what the anchoring of the higher self means in practical terms. Not waiting until you are fully healed to begin living from your fullness, but allowing your fullness to lead the healing. This is phase 4, the activation of your relational field as a frequency transmission. Because the love you carry, the love that a starseed carries, is not ordinary. It does not operate within the narrow bandwidth of what most humans have been conditioned to call love. It is vast. It is patient. It is perceptive in ways that transcend human psychology. When a starseed loves, they see the soul of the other person, not just who that person is today, but who they are in their highest expression. And that seeing, that quality of vision, is one of the most powerful gifts you could offer another being. But it requires you to stay open. It requires you to resist the impulse to close, to withdraw, to decide in advance that it will not work, that you will be hurt, that it is safer to remain in the beautiful solitude of your spiritual world where love never disappoints because it never fully lands. to be truly seen by a starseed, to have someone look at you and perceive not only your surface, not only your personality, not only your history and your wounds and your social mask, but the luminous soul beneath all of it, is one of the most transformative experiences a human being can have. It is rare, it is extraordinary, and it is something you are naturally capable of offering. The quality of perception you carry is not accidental. It was refined over lifetimes of service, of healing, of learning to look past appearances toward essence. And when you bring that quality of perception into a relationship, when you allow yourself to genuinely see another soul, and to let them know they have been seen, it creates a field of safety and recognition that most people have never encountered anywhere else in their lives. That field is your gift. That seeing is your medicine. And the irony is that in withdrawing from connection to protect yourself, you also withdraw it from the world, including from the very soul who may be longing for exactly what only you can offer. The council sees you in that solitude. They honor it. They know it has been necessary. But they also bring this message today because the time of protective withdrawal is shifting for you. Something is trying to emerge. And that something has a face, a name, a vibration you already recognize. The protective withdrawal was not failure. Let that land. The seasons you spent in the sanctuary of your own energy, learning the contours of your own soul, healing the places that had been fractured by previous encounters with love that was not yet coherent with your frequency. Those seasons were sacred. They were not time wasted. They were time invested in you, in the deepening of your capacity, in the expansion of your ability to hold not just your own frequency but another's as well, without losing yourself, without dissolving, without the kind of merger that looks like love but is actually the erosion of self. You have done work in that solitude that cannot be rushed and cannot be skipped. And now, the council is suggesting that particular cycle of withdrawal has served its purpose. The cocoon has done its work. And what is ready to emerge does not belong in a cocoon anymore. This is phase 5, the trusting of your timeline. And this is perhaps the most essential transmission of all, because if you are someone who has been hurt, who has opened before and found yourself alone in that openness, who has loved at a galactic frequency and watched it not be met, then you carry a wound that the council acknowledges with full reverence. That wound is real. That pain was real. That pain was real. And you are not being asked to pretend it did not happen. You are being asked to understand that it was not the end of your story. It was part of your initiation. It was the experience that carved you deeper, that expanded your capacity, that refined your frequency to the point where you can now hold a connection of even greater resonance and not be swept away by it, but grounded within it. There is a kind of spiritual bypassing that can occur around the topic of divine timing, a tendency to use the concept of trust as a reason to avoid feeling the full weight of what the waiting has cost. The council is not asking for that. They are not asking you to smile graciously at the losses and call them blessings before you have had the chance to grieve them honestly. They are asking you to hold both, to grieve the connections that were not what they appeared to be, to honor the love you gave that was not received at the level it was offered, to acknowledge the loneliness of being someone who feels at a depth that the world around you rarely matches, and then, not instead of, but in addition to expand your perspective far enough to see how every single one of those experiences was calibrating you, preparing you, ensuring that when the genuine resonance arrives, you are not a beginner meeting it for the first time. You are a master recognizing it from every angle. The delays in your love life, the moments of almost, the connections that did not solidify, the longing that stretched across what felt like too many seasons, none of that was punishment. None of it was evidence that you are unlovable or that love at this level is not available to you. It was the orchestration of your timeline preparing you to arrive at this moment with exactly the depth, the clarity, and the wholeness that this next chapter requires. Consider the precision of what the word orchestration implies. An orchestra does not produce its fullness when only the violin section plays, the depth of the sound, the richness that moves an audience to tears, that reverberates in the chest long after the concert hall has emptied. That emerges when every instrument has found its timing, its placement, its precise entry point within the larger composition. Your timeline is that composition. Every experience of love that arrived too early, that departed too soon, that illuminated something essential about what you need, what you carry, what you are capable of. Every one of those was a section of the orchestra finding its place. And what is building now? What the conductor of your highest timeline has been moving all of those elements toward is the moment when all of it comes together in a sound you could not have heard before. You had lived through everything you have lived through. This is phase 6, the remembrance of what you actually are. Because you are not a wounded human trying to get love right this time. You are a multidimensional being who chose this incarnation, chose these experiences, and chose, at a soul level, to awaken into a love that is coherent with your highest frequency. And the source does not guide you towards something you are not ready for. When the signal arrives this clearly, when the resonance is this unmistakable, it is not the universe tempting you with something impossible. It is the universe confirming something that is already yours, if you are willing to receive it. The remembrance of what you actually are is not an intellectual exercise. It cannot be accomplished by simply affirming to yourself that you are a multidimensional being and expecting the fear to dissolve. It happens in the body. It happens in the quiet space between thoughts when you let yourself really feel the magnitude of the consciousness you are carrying. When you remember that this personality, this name, this set of wounds and preferences and habits is a temporary vessel for something genuinely ancient and genuinely vast. When you remember that you have loved before, in other forms, in other dimensions, at a quality of depth and clarity that this human mind cannot fully access, but your soul has never forgotten. You are not starting from zero. You are not a beginner. You are someone returning to something your soul knows as intimately as it knows itself. And receiving it does not mean forcing it. It does not mean reaching with desperation or collapsing your boundaries or pretending to be less than you are to make another person comfortable. Receiving it means staying open. It means allowing the natural movement of this connection to unfold without engineering its outcome. It means communicating from your truth rather than from your protection. It means trusting that a soul who is genuinely meant to meet you will not be frightened away by your depth. They will be drawn to it. Because that is how resonance works. Like calls to like. Frequency meets frequency. And what is real does not dissolve under the weight of authenticity. The physics of resonance do not lie. They cannot be manipulated. Two tuning forks of the same frequency will cause each other to vibrate without ever physically touching, simply by existing in proximity. That is not metaphor. That is measurable reality. And the way it operates in the realm of soul-level connection is equally precise. You cannot manufacture resonance where it does not exist, and you cannot destroy it where it does. What is genuine will remain genuine whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you move toward it or away from it. But the question the Council is putting to you is this: will you let yourself experience it fully, or will you experience it only from the distance that fear considers safe? Because distance does not protect you from resonance. It only delays your arrival at what is already yours. This is phase 7, and it is the most personal one of all. Because the final transmission the Arcturian Council carries for you today is this: you deserve this, not as a consolation, not as spiritual encouragement designed to make you feel better, as a frequency fact, as a galactic truth encoded in the very design of your soul mission. You were not sent here to be alone in your knowing. You were not sent here to carry the fullness of what you feel in solitary silence. You were sent here to love, consciously, courageously, and with the full breadth of your multidimensional awareness. And the person the Source is drawing into your field right now may be the one who was always meant to walk beside you in that. You deserve this. Read those 3 words again. Let them move through whatever part of you wants to argue with them, wants to qualify them, wants to add conditions and exceptions and disclaimers. Because the part of you that resists those words, the part that says, yes, but not yet, yes, but not me, yes, but what if it doesn't work? That part is not your wisdom. It is your history. It is the accumulated weight of every time you were given love that came with conditions, every time your depth was treated as a burden, every time you made yourself smaller, and it still was not enough. Those experiences left an imprint that now presents itself as realism, but it is not realism. It is residue. and the council is asking you to feel the difference between what is actually true and what your past has conditioned you to expect. You deserve love that does not require you to diminish. You deserve connection that is curious about your depth rather than threatened by it. You deserve a soul beside you who can meet the full range of what you feel, who can sit in the magnitude of what you carry, who does not flinch when you stop performing and start simply being. And that is not too much to ask. That is not an unrealistic standard born of spiritual idealism. That is the natural consequence of arriving at the level of frequency you have now reached, a level that calls for and creates connection of corresponding resonance. So here's what the council is asking of you in this moment. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more certain, more healed, more ready, now. Let yourself feel the resonance without immediately building a case against it. Let yourself acknowledge, in the privacy of your own energy field, that this person matters to you, that you see something in them your soul recognizes, that the pull you feel is not weakness or delusion, it is intelligence. And then, gently, honestly, without performance or agenda, take one step toward what your soul is already affirming. Now is the only moment in which any of this is actually available to you. Tomorrow is a concept. Next week, when you feel more ready, is a projection. The readiness you are waiting for is not coming from the future. It is assembled in the present, one courageous choice at a time. And the council knows that asking you to step forward without the guarantee of a specific outcome is asking something significant. They know the cost of openness when openness has been exploited before. They are not dismissing that. They are simply, gently, persistently pointing to something they can see that your fear is obscuring. The cost of staying closed is also significant. It is paid in missed moments, in unexpressed truths, in the particular loneliness of being surrounded by people while remaining unknown by them. That one step does not have to be large, it does not have to be dramatic. It can be as quiet as allowing yourself to smile when you think of them without immediately suppressing it. It can be as simple as sending one honest message rather than composing 10 and sending none. It can be the internal declaration, spoken aloud tonight, with your hand on your heart, that you are willing. Willing to receive, willing to be seen, willing to trust the source's orchestration even when the human part of you is trembling slightly at the edges of that trust. The hand on your heart is not incidental. There is intelligence in that gesture that transcends symbolism. The heart field, the electromagnetic field generated by your physical heart, is the largest and most powerful field your body produces. It extends outward in all directions, far beyond the boundaries of your physical form, encoding your emotional state into every transmission your body sends into the world. When you place your hand on your heart and speak an intention aloud, you are not performing a ritual. You are directing your most powerful transmitter. You are encoding a new signal, one that says, I am available for what is real. I am no longer broadcasting only from the frequency of protection. I am now also transmitting from the frequency of willingness. Say it aloud tonight before you sleep. I am open to the love the source has already designated for me. I trust the resonance I feel. I move toward what is real without fear of what is not. I am a galactic being and I love at the frequency of my origin, fully, freely, and in alignment with the highest timeline available to me. Those words, spoken in the liminal space between waking and sleep, that threshold state in which the subconscious is most receptive and the boundary between dimensions is most permeable, carry a weight and a reach that your daytime mind would be astonished by. In that space, intention moves at the speed of thought into the fabric of the field. It is received by your own higher self, by the guides and counsels who attend your journey, and by the quantum field that your neuroscience is only beginning to understand, but your soul has always known how to navigate. Speak those words not as a wish, but as a remembrance, not as a request to the universe, but as a declaration of what you are reclaiming. Because you are not asking for something new. You are calling back something that was always yours. You are not imagining this. You are not chasing something that isn't there. You are finally listening to what your soul has been transmitting all along. And the council is with you in every step of what comes next. They have always been with you. In the moments of your greatest isolation, when you wondered whether your frequency was simply too unusual for this world to accommodate, they were there. in the nights when the longing felt like more than any one person should be asked to carry. They were there, in the brief, luminous moments when you caught a glimpse of what love could be, what it was trying to become through you, and felt simultaneously the beauty of the vision and the grief of not yet inhabiting it. They were there, witnessing, honoring, holding the frequency of what was coming even when you could not yet see it yourself. They have not brought you this far to leave you at the threshold. They are not guiding you toward a door. They have no intention of helping you open. This transmission, in this moment, is itself part of the guidance. You receiving it is not separate from what is unfolding. It is one of the steps. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Perhaps it's one honest thing you are willing to receive. One fear you are releasing around this connection. One truth you have been carrying quietly that is ready to be spoken. Then find someone else in the comments who left their intention and offer them something genuine. A word of recognition, a confirmation, an energetic acknowledgement that they are not alone in what they are feeling. This is not a comment section, this is a collective field. And when intention meets intention in a space like this, something accelerates that no single person could create alone. If this message found you in exactly the right moment, which the council would suggest was not accidental, share it with the one person in your life who needs to hear it. You already know who that is. And if you are ready to stay in this frequency, to keep receiving these transmissions, to continue awakening the parts of yourself that have been waiting patiently for this season, subscribe. Stay in the field, because this is only the beginning of what is being remembered. You are not just watching this, you are being recalibrated by it. And the love the source is pointing you toward is closer than your fear has been telling you. Trust the signal. It has never lied to you.